Hi everyone, this is Sehajnoor and today I'm presenting my tiny house. So we are doing this tiny house for our course in collaboration with Habitat of Humanity, and this organization generally focus on making tiny house with high schoolers for indigenous people or people in need. But for our project, for our course tiny house, we are focusing on students only. So, my name is Sehajnoor, and I'm currently in my sixth semester, and we are doing this project in with the guidance of our Professor Adrian Becker for the course Tiny House. The name of my tiny house is Aurora House, which means welcoming the light. So basically, a lot of natural lighting is welcomed in my tiny house. Okay, now move on to the next slide. So the inspiration of my project, so basically if we look at the first project, the shape of the project is really interesting. We can clearly see how this tiny house break the look of those boxy on the wheel sort of tiny house and made it look very interesting with the change in the roof style. So my design is also really inspired by that roof style. Moving on to the next tiny house, we can clearly look that the whole design is very sleek and minimal, but that big window connects the tiny house to the nature very nicely, and then it also show a lot of cohesiveness in between the designing. And now we look at the third project. I was totally inspired by this project for the interior. We can look at the interior of the house is so clean, minimal, and the cozy at the same time. So, getting inspired all three project, I came up with the design, which is this. So, for my first submission, the concept statement for my uh, design was to create a functional and cozy space for the student with the use of natural resources. And to achieve that concept statement, I firstly focused on having a lot of windows for natural light and ventilation so that my tiny house rely more on to the natural resources and less on to the inside lighting and energy, which would be like affordable option in the long run because we are saving energy. The second strategy to do so was using minimal materials. This will not only keep my design minimal, which is like my core concept, but also make it more cost efficient during the making process, because we know like using consistent material reduce the overall cost of the tiny house. And the third strategy was to make the best use of space to make it more comfortable and living space for students. So in my tiny house, we can clearly see that I have broken the boxy shape of the tiny house with by having that interesting roof, which also allows me to have a lot of windows for ventilation and lighting, and it also connect my tiny house with the outside environment at the same time. And for this submission, I got the feedback that my house is missing the cohesiveness between the elements. So basically, it's like kind of all over the place, like the windows are kind of all of the place, which is clearly visible. Now, this was my final submission. So the first change I made was switching from two materials to one cladding material, which is even more affordable, and it made my design look way more sleek and minimal. Then a minor change of changing the length and the height of the windows made the design look so much more clean and sleek. Again, I still have a lot of windows which welcome a lot of lighting and make it like more affordable in the more energy efficient and affordable in the long run, but still it just look more cleaner right now. Now some changes in the floor plans. So this where the arrow is the main entry, and the main entry opens up into more public or open space, which is kitchen and living. So it is more cleaner and more open, but there is a flow between the spaces, and there's like a clean flow between the bedrooms, which is more private spaces. Both of the bedrooms have their own dedicated works space, as for students workspace is something really important. And we have a utility closet as well. So the floor plan is very clean and understandable, and I tried to make the best use of the minimum space that we had, and I came up with the floor plan with two bedrooms in design. These are some renders in that I have shown to show to visualize the interior spaces. Yeah, that was my design. Thank you so much for staying by. I hope you like my design. Thank you. Bye.